7 trillion naira by the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun.
Welcome to the news desk on Celebration TV. I am Sherry Quinsley Bryman. Here are the news making the headlines for today. God set to give Nigeria new beginning, says Osibanjo. Moroccans react to Algiers' announcement on revised relations. Man arrested over bomb threat near U.S. Capitol. Oil price tumbles to $65, lowest in 3 months. On sports news, Messi, Ronaldo missing as UEFA nominations, players and coaches for awards come up. Do stay with us after this short break. I'll bring you the news in full. Do not go nowhere. Welcome back. Now the news in detail. God said to give Nigeria new beginnings, says Osibanjo. The Vice President Yemi Osibanjo says God is set to give Nigeria a new beginning and that it is the nature of God to create new beginnings, and Nigeria is on course for one, regardless of all doubts. Osibanjo says this during his address at the ongoing 25th Annual Convention of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the America's 10th New Beginning. Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akande, disclosed this. Sibanjo, who is also a pastor in RCCG, cited the Bible story of Nathanael, who doubted whether any good thing could come out of Nazareth, and declared with optimism that despite people doubting if anything good would come out of Nigeria, the country will experience a new beginning. The Vice President added that the ideal person ready for a new beginning is one who requires the strength of God to show forth in their weakness. The America's Convention of the RCCG also featured the General Overseer of the Church, Pastor E.A. Adeboye, his wife, Pastor Folu Adeboye, the Continental Overseer of the Church in the American continent, Pastor James Fadell, and other guest speakers drawn from around the world. The convention of the RCCG in the United States is reported to be the largest gathering of Nigerians anywhere in the U.S., Canada, and Southern and also Central American countries. And I'm moving forwards from that news story. Socioeconomic distortions pose problem for Nigeria, says ICANN. The president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Ms. Comfort Iyitayo, says the distortions in socio-political and economic dynamics are posing a major problem for Nigeria and investors during the Institute's 2021 Mid-Year Economic Discourse webinar themed X-raying the Nigerian economy problems and prospects. Iyitayo says they are undoubtedly facing profoundly challenging times in the country. The distortions in socio-political and economic dynamics call for unconventional methods for addressing the seemingly intraceable national problems. The security challenge is assuming a worrying dimension every day. The volatility in the foreign exchange market is impacting businesses negatively. High inflation rates are making nonsense of investors' decisions. Low level of budget implementation and monitoring have resulted in poor living standards, and the infrastructural gap has made meaningful development a mirage. Addressing what the president said, ICANN's first deputy vice president, Dr. Innocent, added that it was necessary to improve socio-economic indices to enhance the possibility of growth and development. And now in another news story, Oyo government won't sacrifice merit for politics, says Makinde. The The Oyo State Governor, Mr. Seyi Makinde, says his government will not sacrifice merit and orderliness for political exigencies in the state. Makinde made this assertion at the 2020 Productivity and Merit Award ceremony held at the International Conference Center, University of Ibadan. According to him, anyone who worked hard would earn his reward. Makinde maintained that his administration would continue to recognize the contributions of civil and public servants to the development of the state. He described the annual Merit Award program as one of the many ways being used by his government to boost the morale of civil and public servants. And according to him, the program will, among many other things, enable the workers to become high performers. On the recent state workers verification, the governor says the exercise was not to witch hunt workers. Commenting, the head of service, Ms. Amidat, acknowledged that Makinde was passionate about workers' welfare, thus making him have a fantastic and harmonious relationship with civil servants and pensioners in the state. Agbola says that the first edition of the Merit Award programs was held last year with over 40 extraordinary civil public servants who distinguished themselves in the year 2019, recognized, celebrated and given both cash and prizes, but this time being the second edition of the award program, 62 excellent workers have been carefully chosen by the committee set up for the screening exercise. And our news coming from around Africa, Moroccans react to Algiers' announcement on revised relations. Algeria will review its relations with Morocco after accusing it of complicity in deadly forest fires. A presidency statement says in the latest tensions between the Northern African neighbors, at least 90 people, including 33 soldiers, were killed in dozens of forest fires that broke out amidst a blistering heat wave on August 9th across swaths of northern Algeria. President Abdel Majid Tebboune says most of the fires were criminal in origin. The decision to review relations with Rabat was made during an extraordinary meeting of the country's Security Council chaired by Tebboune, and it was dedicated to evaluating the situation after the fires. The presidency says the incessant hostile acts carried out by Morocco against Algeria have necessitated the review of relations between the two countries. And also there would also be an intensification of security controls on the western borders with Morocco. The border between Algeria and Morocco has been closed since 1994. Algerian authorities point the finger for the fires at the independent movement of the mainly Berber region of Kabylie, which extends along the Mediterranean coast east of the capital, Algiers. And news still coming from around Africa. South Africa's parliament-elect have recently fired ex-defense minister as speaker. South Africa's parliament-elected have recently fired ex-defense minister as speaker, a senior position, angering opposition parties who cast doubt on her competence and probity. The CV was removed as defense minister this month during a cabinet reshuffle that followed a spree of deadly unrest and looting in parts of the country. The ex-minister had come under fire for her perceived incompetence in responding to the violence and for contradicting President Cyril Ramaphosa's claim that the event had been a pre-planned insurrection. She was replaced by former National Assembly Speaker Thandi Modise, but later nominated by Ramaphosa's ruling African National Congress Party as its preferred candidate to take over from Modise. MPs chose her as the new speaker with 199 out of 298 votes. The main opposition Democratic Party Alliance Party says Mopisa's election has disarmed Parliament from ensuring accountability and transparency. The left-wing economic freedom fighters boycotted the election, accusing Ramaphosa in a statement of rubber-stamping factional politics and violating the separation of powers. Ramaphosa was elected in 2018 on a ticket to root out corruption blamed for undermining the economy of Africa's most industrialized country. The unprecedented unrest that followed the jailing of his predecessor, Jacob Zuma, last month, as well as a string of coronavirus-linked graft scandals, have piled pressure on the president to take decisive action against inept and fraudulent party members. A new finance minister was also named during the cabinet reshuffle, as well as replacement for ex-health minister Zweli, lauded for his handling of the pandemic but shrouded in a corruption scandal over coronavirus communication funding. Right now it's time we'll take a short break. When we get back from that break, I'll bring you update from the United States as a man was arrested over a bomb threat near the U.S. Capitol. To stay with us, I will be right back.
August 7th to 29, that which must die.
Command your day in the atmosphere of intense supplication. See your evidence. Carry your miracles in wonders without number, August edition.
God told me that the theme of the whole 23-day prayer is that which must die. We are going to be praying against witchcraft. You are going to see prayers from scriptures that will blow your mind. Witchcraft must end.
Wonders without number with Apostle Johnson Suleiman. August edition. That which must die. Date 7 through 29 August 2021 by 5 a.m. GMT+1. You can connect live to Celebration TV, Sky Channel 598 and all our social media platforms for a transforming encounter. It's time to kill. Your time has come.
Welcome, and now we are back on the news desk. Now, update coming from the United States of America. Man arrested over bomb threat near the U.S. Capitol. A man has been arrested after making a bomb threat near the Congress building in Washington, D.C. The man, identified as Floyd Ray Raspberry, 49-year-old, surrendered hours after the threat was made. U.S. Capitol Police had been negotiating with the driver who had parked a pickup truck near the Library of the Congress, across the street from the Capitol building and Supreme Court. His motives remain unknown. Police are still searching for the vehicle. Congress is currently in recess, but some staff are working in the Capitol. Several office buildings were evacuated. Videos purporting to be the man live streaming from the vehicle have been shared on social media. Facebook has deactivated the live stream and removed the profile. In the video, the man addressed U.S. President Joe Biden directly and spoke of a revolution. Mr. Raspberry had parked the vehicle on a pavement and told an officer who approached him that he had a bomb while holding what appeared to be a detonator. Capitol Police Chief J. Thomas says this. Police communicated with Mr. Raspberry via a whiteboard and used a robot to deliver him a telephone which he did not use. Mr. Raspberry then stepped out of the vehicle and surrendered, and he was taken into custody without incident. Police says they discovered possible bomb-making materials in the vehicle, but no bomb. And now more updates coming from Australia. Sydney extends lockdown and puts 2 million under curfew. A lockdown of Australia's largest city, Sydney, has been extended to the end of September as authorities struggle to contain a wave of the Delta cases. The city's 5 million residents have been under stay-at-home orders since late June. Infections have more than doubled. In the past week, from Monday, 2 million residents in the city's worst-hit suburbs will live under a daily curfew. Now, New South Wales Premier Gladys apologizes to the vast majority of people in those communities who are doing the right thing for their health and safety moving forward. They need to make these difficult decisions. Currently, over half of Australia's 25 million people are living in lockdown amid Delta outbreaks, also in Melbourne and Canberra. Sydney remains the biggest concern so far. Its outbreak has killed 65 people. The new arrest of NSW is also in lockdown, but Ms. Berejiklian says restrictions outside Sydney would be eased on 28th of August. And now news coming from the world of business. Oil price tumbles to $65. This is the lowest in 3 months. The international oil benchmark Brent crude sank to its lowest level since May as demand fears and comments from the United States Federal Reserve that it will suspend its bond buying program sent prices tumbling. The further decline in prices also came as the spread of the Delta variant of the coronavirus that causes COVID-19 underlined worries about the demand outlook and as the US dollar rallied. Crude came under pressure amid weakness in the commodities market and equities more generally. Brent, against which Nigeria's crude oil is priced, fell by 3.8% to $65.67 per barrel earlier, but rose slightly to $66.13 per barrel as of 7:15 p.m. Nigerian time. The dollar advanced Thursday after minutes from the Federal Reserve July meeting indicated plans to pull back the pace of the monthly bond purchases. A strong dollar can pressure oil since it makes the commodity more expensive for foreign buyers. Weak data out of China also pressured crude in recent sessions after data released Monday showed the economy slowed more than expected in July. Additionally, the country's refinery output fell to the lowest level in 14 months. Data from the U.S. Energy Information Administration released shows a surprise build in gasoline stocks, which sparked fears of a weaker than expected end to the summer driving season. Oil is staged a blistering comeback during the first half of the year as demand returned and producers kept supply in check. But the momentum began to stall in July as the COVID-19 Delta variant spread. And still on business news, reps tackle MDA seek reduction in 5.62 trillion naira deficit borrowing. The House of Representatives Committee on Finance has condemned Nigerians' plan to borrow to finance 5.62 trillion naira deficit in the 2022 budget, while some ministries, departments and agencies starve the federal government of revenue. The government plans to borrow about 4.89 trillion naira from internal and external sources to finance the deficit in its proposed 2022 budget of 13.98 trillion naira due to dwindling revenue. The committee especially criticized the MDAs for concealing their revenues, thereby denying the government the ability to fund its budget. The chairman of the committee, James Faleke, expressed his concern in Abuja at the ongoing public hearing on the 2022-2024 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy paper. Faleke says they are not happy with the way Nigeria is borrowing 5.62 trillion naira, and they have some funds somewhere staying fallow without being used. The lawmaker pointed out that the major problem facing the country was revenue generation, adding that the House would be more interested in how much government agencies could save. He stressed that if the House discovered that any of the MDA's capital projects were unnecessary, they would be removed to save some resources for the country. Some of the agencies that appeared before the committee were the Nigerian Port Authority, the Nigerian Communications Commission, the Nigerian Copyright Commission, and the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission. Right now, we will take a short break. When we get back from that break, it will be news from the world of sports. Do stay with us.
Have you been searching for an appropriate platform to advertise and promote your product and services? Are you a minister of the gospel and you want your message to spread across the globe? Stop this search. We've got the cover to give your voice and ministry the amplification you require. To get a rewarding and cost-effective solution to that business idea of yours, Celebration TV is here to take your dream to the climax. We provide the following services: voiceover production, documentary packages, video production of your event, video editing, script writing, affordable live broadcast of your events, and more. For more information, please contact us on +234 703 341 3637 or +234 816 234 8181. You can also reach us via our social media platform: Facebook Celebration TV, Instagram My Celebration TV, Twitter us at My Celebration TV, YouTube Celebration TV. And you can send us a mail at celebrationtelevision@gmail.com.
Welcome back. Now it's sports news. Messi Ronaldo missing as UEFA nominates players and coaches for awards. Juventus' Cristiano Ronaldo and Barcelona's Lionel Messi are missing as UEFA announced the names of the final nominees shortlisted for the 2020-2021 UEFA Men's and Women's Player of the Year Awards. The award winners will be announced at the 2021-2022 UEFA Champions League Group Stage Draw ceremony. It will take place on Thursday, the 26th of August at the Halik Congress Center in Istanbul, Turkey. On the same occasion, UEFA will also honor the coaches who have had the biggest impact over the previous season with the UEFA's Men's Coach of the Year and UEFA Women's Coach of the Year awards. For the Men's Player Award, the shortlist of 3 players was selected by a jury composed of 24 coaches of the national teams which participated in the summer's UEFA Euro 2020, together with 80 coaches of the clubs which played in the group stages of 2020-2021 UEFA Champions League and UEFA Europa League. 55 journalists from each of the UEFA 55 member associations selected by the European Sports Media Group. They were also part of the jury. The coaches and journalists were requested to select a short list of 3 players by allocating respectively 5 points, 3 points and 1 point to each of them. The final result was based on the total number of votes cast by the coaches and the journalists. The coaches were not allowed to vote for players from their own team. And now in another sports story, Onazi terminates Zagori's contract. Nigerian midfielder Ogeni Onazi has thanked Lithuanian side Zagori's for their hospitality after terminating his contract with the club by mutual consent. Onazi joined the A-Liga side in February, scoring 2 league goals in 19 appearances, as well as hitting target in the UEFA Champions League qualifier match against Linfield in a 2-1 win. The Nigerian has, however, explained that his decision to quit the club was due to a better offer for his services by another club. He appreciates the fans for supporting them and for everything they've done. Onazi has now terminated his contract by mutual consent with the last 3 clubs he has played with since ending his stay with Turkish side Trabzonspor in last year, 2020. We've come to the end of the news on the news desk, and now here is a quick recap of the headlines. God set to give Nigeria new beginning, says Osibanjo. Moroccans react to Orji's announcement on revised relations. A man was arrested over bomb threat near the U.S. Capitol. Oil price tumbles to $65, lowest in 3 months. On sports, Messi, Ronaldo missing as UEFA nominates players and coaches for awards. And now we are here. We're now down to the photo of the day, and that photo clearly says, don't just go for knowledge, go for the right knowledge. The right knowledge has the power to change your life. You can share your thoughts about the photo of the day via our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, we are My Celebration TV. On Twitter, My Celebration TV. And also on YouTube, Celebration TV. Always bear in mind that your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself or the organization you work defines your leadership might. As an individual who knows what to do and do so without expecting to be pushed has backed his way to success. Be it known today that everything we do, think, feel and believe either has a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. Make sure you are a part of nation building today. Goodbye. I remain Sherry Quinsley Bima.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior doctor crowd of responded by The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor Ibikule Amosu.
Testimony is an application for more. Over the months, Wonders Without Number has yielded mind-blowing testimonies across the globe. Be the Wonder of the Month as Celebration TV gives you the golden opportunity to participate in the Testimony Monthly Draw. Simply be among the first 50 persons to send in their video testimonies, which automatically qualifies you for a raffle, and then you stand a chance of winning. Guess what?
The winners stand a chance of having a one-on-one access with the Restoration Apostle Johnson Suleiman via a Zoom meeting or direct contact.
Send in your testimonies now.